Hey guys, Momo's here with another Escape from Tarkov video, and today we're going to be going over your tier 1 trader gear that I recommend buying. This is also kind of going to be early wipe kind of stuff as well, stuff you might find super commonly on scavs and stuff like that. So this is going to help you what you can buy for cheap and get budget guns with decent stats early on that you can use to start out, whether you're just starting out or at the beginning of wipe, just to help you guys out so you guys aren't buying these crazy guns that cost super expensive when you can actually get a cheaper version of it with just about the same stats. So here you guys go. Here's some cheap gear and some basic tier 1 trader gear that you guys can get. I hope this video helps out with you guys, and if it does, don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell. See, we do go live just about every day, and then we also have a video for Tarkov every Sunday, and then we're going to start doing New World now on every Wednesday. So stay tuned, guys, so we can get some tier 1 trader gear. All right, so for our first gun that we're going to go over here is the AKM. And as you see here, there's a couple AKs because some of the parts are transferable between the AKs. So what you want to do here is actually take off the handguard. Make sure you don't take off the gas block, just the handguard, the dust cover, and the rear sight. This is going to allow you to put on the parts that I'm going to request for you guys to put on if you're trying to deck out a gun a little bit more than just taking it in stock. So here you're gonna need the AK-100, which proper sells for about 3K. It's super cheap. The RK-60 you can buy from Skier, which again is very cheap. I think it's about 3 or 4K as well. The Bastions are going on about 6K through Skier. However, again, it adds up a little bit, but if you do have the extra cash and you're looking to get your stats a little bit better on the gun, it is definitely worth it. And then again, the only beginning site I recommend saving the EKOP site from Proper went up to like 18 or 19,000 is the MRS, which you can get about 11 to 13K. Now for this Bastion, you do need to have the rear sight taken off as well. So you can put that on, put that, and the AK-100 and the R6 you can put on together. And that way you get your stats a little bit lower, down to about 113 vertical recoil, which helps you out, especially with 7.62 recoil is just about everything. This gun is what I use basically for everything because it's about 20k extra, and that 20k gives me better stats and a sight on the gun, and that is just hands down worth it over anything else. Now, this handguard and dust cover combo can fit onto just about any AK. However, if you're going to go into the AKS-74U, you do need to put the B11 on. You do not get the dust cover, however, because it does take a different dust cover. If you can find a B11 mount, great. Otherwise, you can't get it to level 2 mechanic, which is until about level 20. So keep that in mind when you're trying to use the AKS-74U. For the most part, you're going to have to use the B11 mount. There is one version that does have the dovetail mount that you can put the OKP7 or the EKP Cobra sight on. However, again, it's harder to find those styles to put that sight on. But this build right here with the AK-100 handguard and the Bastion fits on just about any full-sized AK-47, AKM, AK-74, any of those. It fits on just about any of those. So keep that in mind when you're trying to kind of spruce up your gun a little bit before you go into battle. So through tier 1 Peacekeeper, you can get a lot of decent 9mm stuff right off the bat. You can get the MP7, which is just throw any sight or foregrip you want on the gun. However, I do like the MP5 because it does have the barred knife trade. You can do 8 brown knives, the ones that you get most commonly off of scavs, and you can get an MP5 for it. You just get this MFI mount. I personally like the Fast Fire 3 Reflex by Barris. Go ahead and buy that, buy the mount, and then you have a pretty decent, right off the gate, MP5 9mm with 30 rounders. And I think all around it costs about $350 to $450 dollars. So it is a very nice kind of quick, easy purchase that is very cheap, and that is still very viable because the MP5 the first couple of weeks is very, very good. And I personally like this round, early wipe. So you definitely still run the PST GZH for it. When you're trying to run pistols, the PT26R is probably by far one of my favorite pistols. You can get this through the 4 black bar knives. And then you can also get a 20 round magazine right off the bat through Peacekeeper. And the 20 round magazine makes the pistol way easier to use. You have more ammo. For some reason, this pistol just meshed with me very well early on, and I used this the entire time at I had tier 1. Like I still use this pistol today if I need a sidearm because it's so good. I either use this the M1911. So there you go. Quick, easy build for the MP5. Nothing else you really need to do on it. Just throw a sight on it. You can use the MRS sight because sometimes some people do get distracted with the dot being right above the front sight. So if that does bother you, go ahead and throw the MRS sight that we threw on the other guns as well. And as you see here, we can go ahead and throw that on, and that works just fine. It does see clearly over, so if that does fit more your style, go ahead and use that. The next thing is shotguns. You can get the MP153 shotgun as a couple trades. I do like Jaeger's trade because it's like 2 red screwdrivers and 2 wrenches. Super easy gear to find for about a 30k shotgun. And then you just buy the sight for about 7 to 9k, depending on what your like rep is and all that kind of stuff with price changes and stuff. And then also you can find the sprut on a lot of scavs, and this can hold 3 different tactical devices. Most of them come stock with the 25mm ring flashlight, or they come with a Klesh flashlight. I personally like the Klesh a little bit more because it does have a laser, and laser does help your hip fire. So throw that on there, and then you're good to go. This gun is super simple. Bring either 7mm buckshot, Magnum buckshot, or if you can find 50 BMG or Grizzly slugs. Grizzly works really good for non-armored or low armored people, so level 1, level 2. Beyond that, you're not gonna be able to do anything, so keep that in mind. You might have to leg meta some people if you have a Grizzly slug in there. Now, the OP SKS is by far my favorite gun early wipe, and this is why. So the OP SKS you can get off of Jaeger for about 33k, which is pretty cheap for a 7.62 gun for how good it is. You can also get the PSO scope for about 22, so you have about a 55k gun that you can get long range with. You can throw the scope right on there, or what you can do is actually take the OP SKS or the PSO scope off of the SKS, and then put the EKP for a short range 7.62 gun. Now it does have the top loaded 10 rounder, so if you can buy the 20 rounders or you find them, go ahead and buy a couple of those because it's a lot easier to switch out the mags than actually top loading it. I don't recommend top loading anything like 20 or 35 rounds. I only recommend top loading the 10 rounder just because you're not sitting there waiting in the middle of a gunfight to load all 20 if you're not easily able to count your rounds. So you can either go with the PSO sight, and sometimes I even put like the PSO sight in my butt and the gamma, and then go ahead and take the sight out and switch them as I need it. So that is a possibility as well when they're pretty quick switch. But OP SKS early wipe tier 1 traders is by far my favorite gun. I use this thing all the time. Any chance I get, this is my go-to gun. So definitely look out for that, guys, because a lot of people sleep on this gun, and I personally think it's one of my favorite. And once again, we're gonna bring up the same gear as we did. Pretty much any basic starting gear is going to be your PACA, your SSH 68 helmet, and your bank robber. Your PACA is level 2, not the greatest armor, however, it does have 50 durability, so it does hold up a lot of small rounds. And then your SSH, you're not worried about the armor class. It is level 3, but the big thing is the high ricochet chance. The high ricochet chance is going to save you more than the actual armor value, so keep that in mind when you're trying to pick your helmets. Personally, the SSH 68 helmet is anything you should be running, unless you're running like a U-lock or something with a face shield. SSH 68 should be the helmet you're wearing. All right, so the last gun we have is through Skier, and it is a little bit more expensive. It is the 8R 215. It is a 5.56 single shot, pretty much basically a single shot M4. It is quite expensive. It's right around 41k. However, some people do favor this. And just like my last video, guys, I'm going to go ahead and recommend you take off the front sight, put the low profile gas block from Mechanic on there, which runs you about 5k, and then also throw an MRS sight on it just so you don't have to deal with the front sight, because I personally don't like the sights on this gun. However, if you like them, go ahead and use them. But it's an expensive gun. This runs about 50k for 5.56 when you can run the same thing with 7.62 for the SKS. You do get 30 round mags, so kind of weigh what you like. But this is another really good tier 1 weapon to use, so go ahead and try this if you need to, guys. Every gun is different for everybody on how they like it and how they use it, what it does, all that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind when trying to choose your tier 1 weapons, where you guys are kind of limited to what you can use. Use what works best for you and makes your best survivability through each match. So guys, I hope you guys like this video, and I hope this helps you out on what to buy and what not to buy early wipe. Especially with the only tier 1 traders, you're very limited to what you can use. So make sure you buy what works for you and what makes your survivability the best case scenario for anything. Surviving the early wipe is key because you don't want to be spending money on gear over and over and over, where most people will pick up your gear and take it because gear is so limited. So definitely check this out. Make sure you guys really pay attention to what works for best for you and makes your survivability the best, so that you guys can make more money and spend less on the traders. So there you guys go. I hope this video helps you guys out on what to buy, what not to buy, what to use, and so on. There you guys, make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. See when we do go live and when new videos do come up. Again, we're going to be starting the Tarkov videos every Sunday, and we're going to be doing New World on every Wednesday. So keep your eyes out on those stuff. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Goodbye. Deuces, y'all.